as them. I have 4 lovely sons who are 18 through 28. And I lived over on Prospect for about a year. We were able to finally downsize in 2010 when some of those lovely young men finally moved out and seem to be staying out and doing well. But I've been actively engaged in the community in Portland for a number of years, both my husband and myself. I am running on a number of different reasons, but one of the reasons is we need strong Democratic women up in Augusta. I've been on the board of Emerge Maine for the last several years, which actively recruits and trains women to run for office. We have 17% representation up in Augusta of women who represent us. We are over 50% of the population. I think that we bring a different voice. There's sort of still a little bit of an old boy sort of get along system up in Augusta, and I think we need fresh perspectives and ideas. I'm also running because I have been a lifelong, very strong advocate, sort of just how I'm wired. I believe that we need to stand up and get engaged, and right now, especially, we need a very strong representative up in Augusta that will push back, that will work to preserve the things that we have fought hard for these last 30 or 40 years. Clean air and clean water, quality education. We're seeing assaults on women's rights, workers' rights, civil rights. And we need a strong representative who's going to go up and who's going to stand up for those values, not only to preserve them, but to move them forward, to build on what we've established and create the future that we want for our children. I'm running because I believe I have the experience to really hit the ground running. I know we've all have our own variety of experience, but I was approached to run for this office back in the winter because I do have a wealth of experience. I was an elected county commissioner here in Cumberland County, served for 4 years in that capacity. As county commissioner, I was elected to president of the Maine County Commissioners Association, and believe me, that is a hardscrabble group of folk. To get them to come together and sit at the table and get things done takes some work. And I've got the background in coalition building, in legislative advocacy. My master's is in public policy. Well, I've lost my thread here a little bit. But I think that I've got the experience to get people to sit at the table, find our common good. As county commissioner, many of you may have heard about the consolidation of our jails and our prisons. That was one way we were able to start holding down our property taxes that were going towards that. It was not an easy feat to get that group of people sitting at that table to come together and support that and see our property taxes capped. I've worked with some folks in the room here in Cumberland County. We established the public health district. I believe that we have ways that we can think outside of the box to provide the services that we need and save tax dollars. We need that kind of perspective up in Augusta. One of the ideas that I'd like to take forward is things of using our different levels of government to provide those services. As county commissioner, I could see across the country that most counties provide public health. Public health is an issue in this state. Portland, as a service center, provides public health to a variety of people, to a variety of communities around us. That drives up our property taxes. There are ways that we could partner with the county and have a city-county public health department. Tap a broader tax base to provide more of those needed services and save us all dollars. I'm willing to go up in Augusta and advocate for some of these different ideas, some of these creative ideas, thinking a little bit outside of the box. I was raised in a family where being part of a community was not only an honor, but it was an obligation. You give back, you find things that need work, and you work on them. And that's how I have always operated. When one of my sons had issues with special needs and had early intervention services that he needed, not only did I work in getting the system to work for him, but I ended up being appointed to a state board that, as a parent member, that created the first standards in the state of Maine for early intervention. I think we always need to be looking for those issues that need to be addressed, stepping up, and I'm willing to be an advocate to do that. When you talk about experience on various levels of government, and I know my colleague over here, or my, I hate to say opponent, because we like each other, know each other for a long time, has got a lot of experience, and it's important to have that. I have worked in Augusta. I was a staff to the Office of Policy and Legal Analysis. I was staff to Congressman Tom Andrews back in the early 90s. I understand how the different levels of government work, how they can work together more effectively, how they're not working at all up in Augusta right now, and I'd like to be in there and be your advocate up in Augusta. I'd like to ask for your vote June 12th. I have been endorsed by the League of Young Voters this time around, and hope to get other endorsements. I was endorsed by a number of people when I ran for county commissioner. I'd be happy to answer questions. I've got some various ideas. As Eric said, I could go on and talk about policy and kind of get into a lot of things. I'd love to answer some questions, but I'd love to get your vote June 12th. Make sure you get out and vote. And thank you for being here.